victim, and she's running around milking it and playing it for all it's worth. The title of her book is rooted in victimology. What happened? What happened? How did they take it away from me? Who stole it from me? It isn't fair. 2008 and now this? And let's not forget the never-Trumpers here, folks. A comment for our principled friends. Hillary Clinton will cheat anyone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, there were never-Trumpers on our side who preferred this woman to be elected president over Trump. There were never-Trumpers among us who know full well the full-fledged corruption and walking scandal and dishonesty that is the Clintons, and these people on our side preferred her to our party winning. Hillary and Bill Clinton are perhaps the two most corrupt people to have ever run for the presidency. A President Hillary Clinton was going to cover up her crimes and Barack Obama's, and you know the list of things. And they would have continued to go after Donald Trump even if he had lost, to try to teach every other outsider a lesson. Don't try this yourself. So I'm serious. I think I know the answer, but what do all of these Hillary Clinton devotees think now? And remember this. It could be over half of voters in the Democrat Party actually wanted Bernie. And they were a vocal lot. They were an engaged, energetic bunch. Crazy Bernie's rallies were the closest thing to Trump rallies the Democrats had. Hillary's rallies were non-existent. She barely did them. Hardly anybody showed up, and there was no energy. But Crazy Bernie, he had his young people that prefer socialism and communism, and they were showing up in droves. What do they think? They've been suspicious of this from the middle of those primaries. Crazy Bernie's voters believed from the get-go the game was rigged against him, and now they know that it was. What does that mean for the Democrat Party going forward? Fall on the sword to make it look like they're cleaning house. Well, I saw that. They fired the top fundraiser, and they made sure that everybody knew the top fundraiser was incompetent and worthless at the same time. That's exactly what I mean. She was the first fall guy. Although she had nothing to do with any of this. But they need fall guys to draw attention away from the things Brazil is exposing. Speaking of young people, from the Daily Caller, nearly 1 in 5 millennials consider Joseph Stalin and Kim Jong-un heroes. According to a poll that came out yesterday, the poll demonstrated an increase in acceptance of socialism and communism among American millennials. It was released by the Victims of Communism Memorial Fund. 1/2 of millennials, 1/3 of Americans, would prefer to live in a socialist or communist nation instead of a capitalist democracy, according to the poll. Here's some numbers. 23% of Americans between 21 and 29 consider Stalin a hero. 26% of them consider Lenin a hero. These are two of the biggest mass murderers in world history. 23% think Kim Jong-un of North Korea is a hero. 1/5 of millennials surveyed had a positive opinion of Karl Marx. The study also found that 71% of millennials could not pinpoint the definition of communism. They just like it, but they don't know how to define it. Communism was defined right in front of them. They couldn't choose it. They didn't know what it was. 80% of millennials did not know how many lives were lost as a result of communism. They are being taught of the virtues of communism. They are being propagandized and indoctrinated with the utopian aspects of communism. And of course, there's no such thing as utopia. But in communism circles, there is. It's there. It's there. We've been close a couple times. We haven't gotten there yet, but we can get there. We have enough money and the right people. We can get there. And that's how it's portrayed. America is imperfect, not capable of being perfected. America's racist and bigoted. It's unfair. It's mean-spirited. And this is how these young people have been raised. It's how they've been taught. They have no idea how to define communism. They just think it's fairer. It's more sustainable. You know what would be if I ran... I'm going to call Larry Yarn. I'm going to call Larry Yarn at Hillsdale College. Say, Larry, I want you to propose something. Not for Hillsdale, because your students don't need it. A mandatory program for all college graduates. We recreate the old JFK Peace Corps here. Only this is mandatory. All college graduates must take 6 months to live in Venezuela, North Korea, Cuba, Saudi Arabia, or parts of the Chicom Empire. And if they survive the 6 months, and if they are not put in jail for life, if they don't try to leave, if they stay there, if they willingly fulfill the 6-month requirement, then I think they'll be far more appreciative of capitalism and America and freedom when they get out. In other words, they don't think anything's wrong with communism. They think it's great. They think heroes are made of people like Lenin and Stalin. Make them live there for 6 months instead of registering for the Selective Service. I know this approach works. It works every time it's tried. Send people to the various hell holes on Earth under the guise that they are oasis of liberty and freedom and justice and so forth. Position it as a reward. You love communism, you can be sent to your favorite communist country for 6 months on us. Where do you want to go? Venezuela? We'll send you. We need to somehow get the BS that's been implanted in their brains somehow erased.
Subscribe to America's #1 political newsletter and get this spectacular El Fribo.
We have this great new tumbler, Special Rush tumbler, as our free gift to new subscribers. It's the best tumbler we have designed and made available yet.
Get it for yourself at Special Someone or a gift for both. Available now at RushLimbaugh.com. You're listening to the EIB News Radio, 1390 WRSC.
Are your medical bills piling up due to cancer or another serious illness? You are not alone. Many people face this challenge. Here's how Coventry Direct can help. You can receive an immediate cash payment by selling your life insurance policy. If you have $100,000 or more of life insurance, you may be eligible to sell your policy, even a term policy. To find out if you qualify, call Coventry Direct today at 1-800-458-2100 to speak to one of our policy specialists. That's 1-800-458-2100. The cash you receive from selling your policy can be used to help pay medical bills or whatever you choose to give you financial security and peace of mind. Call Coventry Direct at 1-800-458-2100 or visit us at CoventryDirect.com. Coventry Direct, giving you the cash you need when you need it most. Coventry Direct is a marketing company and will refer qualified policies to a licensed entity.
When it comes to keeping your car on the road, it can get expensive, and before you know it, your hard-earned money can get gobbled up. Go to Lohr's Auto Sales and Service on North Atherton Street in State College, your one-stop shop for all your vehicle repairs. For the last 30 years, Lohr's Auto Sales and Service has been the place to go for quality, dependable used vehicles, top-notch repair work, and no-hassle notary services. All at prices that won't gobble up your budget. And if you need transfer services to sell a vehicle, including motorcycles, ATVs, snowmobiles, or boats, or if you need a replacement registration, title, or temporary tags, it's not a problem. They can even provide you with a title for reconstructed street rods and classic vehicles. And at Lohr's, a notary is always on duty, and no appointment is necessary. When it comes to car sales and service, Leave out the turkey. Make it Laura's Auto Sales and Service. Monday through Friday, 7:30 until 6, and Saturdays, 7:30 until 2. 1869 North Atherton Street, State College, or call 814-234-7888.
Thanks for listening to News Radio 1390 WRSC. As you do, there are a few things you should know. First, should you call this station, you are giving us permission to record and or air all or part of your call at our discretion. Second, this station from time to time runs various contests and giveaways, which have general and specific rules that address how to enter or participate, eligibility, entry deadlines, nature and value of prizes, how to win, the required paperwork to accept and receive the prize, and our right to publicize or broadcast your name, likeness, or voice without additional compensation to you, all of which you should be aware of. These rules can be viewed on our station website, foreverstatecollege.com. Some may be aired in part on our station, or are available by writing or visiting this station's studio address, 2551 Park Center Boulevard, State College, Pennsylvania, 16801. Once again, thanks for listening to News Radio 1390 WRSC, and have a great day.
To cable news commentators, lie back. Breathe into a bag if you need. Squeeze his stress ball all you want. News Radio 1390 WRSC.
All right, time to get started on the phones, and we're going to start in Kennewick, Washington. This is Laura, and great to have you. You're up first today. Hi.
Hi, Russ. Thank you for taking my call. How are you?
I'm fine and dandy. Thank you.
Hey, I tried to get a hold of you last week with a question. I wasn't able to get through to you. I was on hold, but I have a question. I kind of wanted to know what your thoughts might be about it. It has to do with Vladimir Putin and his position as far as his attitude towards Donald during the campaign. Do you think him saying that he wanted Donald to win and saying that they didn't want Hillary to win was all part of this dupe? He was duping the president
Let me say
the whole time? Like he was being kind of two-faced?
Laura, I don't... No. Putin? Two-faced? No. What would give you this idea? Look. You, like most people, are falling prey to a drive-by media made-up narrative. The narrative is that Vladimir Putin has a preference for who should be president. And whatever Putin wants, that's what we're going to get, because the Russians are interfering in our election. They've hammered that so many days in a row now that people think that Putin is an active player in our elections. Now, I will begrudgingly acknowledge that the Russians are trying to tamper with our elections, but let me tell you something. I don't want that to get too much weight. The Russians have been infiltrating our universities for 50 or more years. The Russians have been interfering and infiltrating our U.S. government, the State Department, the Pentagon. They try to get spies who are fake American citizens into any neighborhood they can, into any government agency they can. This has been the way of the world since before the Cold War. We do the same thing. The Chicons are trying to do the same thing. The Russians, the old Soviet communists, had amazing success infiltrating the American education system, and we are paying the price today. We call it liberalism. It's communism that these professors are teaching. How else do you explain all these millennials thinking it's wonderful and great and sustainable? The bottom line, Laura, Putin doesn't care who wins the presidency. He's going to work to undermine America no matter who. Now, he might think it would be easier, the bigger fool in the Oval Office, the easier it would be. And in this case, that would be Hillary. She had already demonstrated that she could be owned as the Secretary of State. Her incompetence and her unwillingness to stand up and defend America has already been on display. So if Putin wanted anybody, it would have been Hillary. But it doesn't matter. He doesn't determine who wins.
On Veterans Day, why not approach one of the men or women who served, hand them a small flag, and simply say, thank you. It will
be mild this afternoon. Varying amounts of clouds, a spotty shower. The high getting up to 64 tonight. Some clearing, colder. The low down to 35. Tomorrow, increasingly cloudy and chilly. The high getting up to 52. Some rain or drizzle on occasion later tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. Down to mid-40s, and then some morning rain and drizzle Sunday. Milder in the afternoon with mainly cloudy skies. Sunday's high 61. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Steve DeVore. News Radio 1390 WRSC.
News Radio 1390 WRSC. It's 1:30.
Fox News Radio. I'm Chris Foster. President Trump tweets, "The decision on Sergeant Bergdahl is a complete and total disgrace to our country and to our military. An Army judge rules Bo Bergdahl should be dishonorably discharged but not serve prison time for leaving his post in Afghanistan." His attorney, Eugene Rydell, says about the president's attacks,
"Every American should be offended by his assault on the fair administration of justice and his disdain for basic constitutional rights."
Bergdahl spent 5 years as a Taliban prisoner. Americans were killed or wounded looking for him. The Country Music Association is now apologizing for telling reporters at its award show next Wednesday, no questions allowed about politics or the mass shooting at a concert in Las Vegas last month. That restriction is now withdrawn. The show's host, Brad Paisley, tweeted this morning, "It was ridiculous and unfair." Fox News, we report, you decide.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you, whether you're at home, your business, or online. We help keep you safe with security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT, home, safe home.
Walgreens has good news for everyone who uses Medicare Part B for diabetes testing supplies. We've got your back, or in this case, your test strip. Walgreens accepts Medicare assignment and full coverage supplemental insurance, so you'll pay as low as $0 out of pocket, which is the same as mail order. Pick up the medications you rely on and save on all major brands, like One Touch and Walgreens True Metrics. That's not just good news, it's great news. Talk to your Walgreens pharmacist today. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Hiring is important, but finding the right people can be a real challenge. That's why ZipRecruiter is obsessed with finding you qualified candidates fast. ZipRecruiter finds candidates with the right experience and notifies them to apply for your job. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within just 1 day. The right candidates are out there. This is how you find them. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
To try ZipRecruiter for free, just go to ZipRecruiter.com/ADC Radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ADC Radio.
The latest news and weather every hour. And as much fun as watching your boss try to flick that booger off her finger. News Radio 1390, WRSC. If they're near you, you'll find them everywhere.
Phone calls because I look so brilliant, usually in the process. Well, no, that was really worthwhile. This woman obviously believes, you can't blame her. I mean, every day the media, Putin this, Putin that, Putin owns this, Putin wants to do that, Putin colluded with Trump, Putin this, Putin that. And pretty soon, it doesn't take long before people think that Putin determines the outcome of the presidential election. And Vladimir Putin doesn't. Our election, yeah, the Democrats try vote fraud, yeah, but folks, there's no way that computer hacks or anything that you've been told can affect the outcome of a presidential election. Even Barack Hussein acknowledged this. Our elections are simply too widespread and multifaceted. There are too many precincts. There are too many polling places. There are too many unknowns going in. Nobody knows how it's really going to go. Polling data has become so unreliable you can't count on that because it's been corrupted by left-wing politics. You would have to know, if you were going to try to rig an election, you'd have to know which states the Electoral College is going to come down to at the end of the popular vote. You would have to, it would be impossible to do. You couldn't even massively try. You wouldn't know where to begin. That's one of the things about this that just irritates the hell out of me. We have enough trouble with voter fraud already without making people try to believe that our election system is so inept and so weak and fragile that Vladimir Putin and the Russians could hack it. But man, the Democrats and the media, they don't care what happens to this country. They don't care how badly it gets torn down and weakened and damaged in the process of making sure they win. I mean, you ought to be able to put two and two together now. The Trump dossier, totally fake and made up, paid for by Hillary Clinton and this sneaky law firm. Who really has been trying to undermine elections? Donna Brazile has blown the lid on it. The people that rig elections in this country are the Democrats. Sorry for yelling. I'm trying to cut through the noise. Well, everybody's looking for some foreign Russian monster. The monster happens to be in Chappaqua, running around still in a daze asking what happened. How come her cheating didn't work? Not even Hillary, it turns out, could rig an election. Except the Democrat primary, look what she had to do. She had to take over the DNC, and she had to put herself in charge of all the money being raised. And then she had to have a partner, Debbie Blumenthal-Schultz, to rig the entire primary debate system so that you put these debates on TV when nobody will see them. And then you have to rig a delegate selection process that makes it such that Hillary Clinton's going to get a majority of them no matter how many Bernie Sanders wins. So who really cheated? Who really bought an election? Who really colluded to rig the outcome of an election? The answer is Hillary Clinton. The answer is Debbie Blumenthal-Schultz. The answer is it had anything to do with the Clinton campaign as a co-conspirator in stealing an election. You don't need to look to the Russians, folks. You don't need to worry about what Kim Jong-un is looking. As long as this guy has his supply of Johnny Walker Blue, he got nothing to worry about. He's going to launch his missiles here and have his jollies. Just make sure the guy's got his Johnny Walker Blue. Maybe it's Johnny Walker Black. I'm not sure which. Keep him in scotch and he'll be fine because they don't have any of their own in North Korea. You wouldn't drink the alcohol they produce there, and it comes in a bathtub or out of a toilet. He imports it. Make sure the imports continue the exports. He'll be fine. We have a much greater threat, even, I think, than Putin and the Russians, and that's the Chaikovs. And that threat is economic, not to mention military. The Chaikovs have an army of 800 million soldiers that they could easily lose. 800 million people fewer to feed. Can't compete with them in a conventional war. Thankfully, those kind of wars are not fought anymore. But well, it wouldn't be with the Chaikovs, but still, they pose a threat, and they do consider us an enemy. We live a different kind of life. The Chaikov leadership is full-fledged communist. Do you hear what Chairman Xi Jinping did? You heard what this guy did? This hasn't made the news. Wow. This is the guy that came and visited Trump and Melania, and he brought his wife, and they're touring the flower gardens and so forth. Xi Jinping. They just had the most recent Communist Party Congress. This guy, Xi Jinping, appropriated Mao Zedong type of power. That kind of power hasn't existed in the Chinese Politburo in decades. You almost have to go back to Mao himself, who died shortly after Nixon and Kissinger made the visit. The Chinese communist leadership had deluded itself, and they had parceled out power. This guy walked in there, and he has assumed the power positions of 5 different people in the Politburo. He's now the most powerful Chaikov leader we have dealt with since Mao Zedong. Do you think this guy did this because he has democratic principles? This guy's got, you know, the Chaikovs have an interesting existence. They are, in terms of the way their government and their country is structured, it is entirely ideologically communist. But they have become a manufacturing exporter for the world. And so they have, well, like the outfits that manufacture Apple products and Samsung products, the high-tech gizmos. But it's not just that. They have allowed Taiwanese-owned companies to set up shop and build factories because the Chi-Con leader has a major, major challenge every day. This guy every year has got to find a way to create 25 million new jobs, even in China, even under a communist regime. And he's got a further problem. He's got to find a way to keep those new jobs out of his cities. They're already overcrowded. They're already overrun. They're already pollution nightmares. That's why he makes deals with outfits like Foxconn, which is where the iPhones are assembled. These factories employ 500,000 people in areas of China that haven't even been developed. The dealers or the factory owners, the Foxconns and the other, have to develop neighborhoods. In fact, these factories are pretty much where people live. They have hospitals, playgrounds. The factories employ 500,000 people. Like when the big island of Hawaii was developed, and that we're not talking that long ago. On the western shore of the big island is where the resort hotels are. When those hotels were built, they had to build neighboring little towns for the employees who were going to work in those hotels to live. They had to help pay for the development. Now, the whole thing sprung up now. I mean, the population over there now is 100,000 people, but 30 years ago, it was nothing but lava rock, and the resort hotels and these little huts where the employees, the Chi-Coms have the same problem. Not comparing the big island to China, but I'm just saying they have a big problem. This guy's got to create, he's got 1 billion people. They have to feed them somehow. These people have to be able to earn enough money to not go on the Chinese dole. They have to earn something so they can provide for themselves and have something to get up and do every day rather than sit around and waste away doing whatever you do, watching video games in your pajamas in your parents' basement. They don't want that. So they let these Taiwanese firms and others come in and build these massive factories, but nowhere near the cities. If you get a new iPhone, if you order a new product and you follow the tracking, take a look at where it comes from and actually use a package tracking app to find out. You'll cities of origin that you have never heard of, and they'll put on the map and there's nothing there. And then from these outposts, they'll end up in Shenzhen or some other major exporting city where FedEx and UPS have their departure airports. But the stuff is actually made in undeveloped parts of China. Part of the deal is these people build the factories which will employ the workers and is where they keep the workers out of the city. They're overcrowded. So the Chi-Com guy, he's got his own economic problems, and while he's doing all this, he's got to maintain rigid communist control over everybody who dissents. So, if you're in Tibet, you're going to get the crap kicked out of you if they catch you power. You know, Mao's Cultural Revolution, where if you believed the wrong thing, they sent you away to a re-education camp where you essentially got assassinated. They give you a couple of days to renounce your anti-Chinese beliefs. And if you won't, it's off with your head. Yeah, they feed you to the nearest dragons, or what have you. No, it's not. We don't know that he actually is Mao, but he has now amassed the kind of power that Mao had, which we don't have anything like that in this country. We don't have a singular person with that kind of power. Putin does. At least he's on the way to it and wants to have. Anyway, I take a break here. I'm a little bit long. But the whole point of this is, folks, that the Chi-Coms and the Russians are constantly infiltrating, trying to. My point is that they have succeeded beyond their wildest dreams in infiltrating American education. But they cannot rig an election like the media wants you to believe. And I will guarantee. Why did you not hear about any of this before the election, by the way, folks? Why were the media and the Democrats not worried about Russian collusion before the election? Remember, they thought they were going to win. They didn't want her victory tainted with anybody thinking that the Russians had engineered it. It was only after she lost that they ginned this thing back up to full speed. But before the election, when they thought they were going to win, there wasn't any talk about the Russians determining the winner. They were trying to make connect a few small dots that Trump was colluding with the Russians, but they weren't worried about it, except that it indicated Trump was a traitor. There wasn't any fear that it was going to matter. They wouldn't dare allude that it mattered because that would taint Hillary's eventual win. Well, my point is they don't even really believe it. They don't even really believe the Russians colluded. That's why they had to make it up in the dossier. But they had to pay for it, make it up, pay for it to be written. All of this is a crock of lies like you've not seen before.
The others jump on the bandwagon. Rush on the EIB Network.
Streaming live at foreverstatecollege.com. News Radio 1390
If you're a
WRSC.
CPAP user, soap and water cleaning may leave harmful bacteria, viruses, and mold that can make you sick. That alone will keep you up at night. Until now, SoClean.com is the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. SoClean kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs without soap, water, harsh chemicals, or even equipment disassembly. And now, you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-719-8989.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health is improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean's revolutionary design makes it easy to clean your CPAP and protect you against CPAP-related illnesses. Plus, SoClean works with all popular CPAP devices to clean them in minutes. It really is that easy. Don't risk your health. Call SoClean.com now to try it risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-719-8989. This offer won't last. Call now. 800-719-8989. 800-719-8989.
Can you believe people still listen to these guys? The most watched business channel in America recommended Don't Move Your Money from Bear Stearns. The same month it dropped from $98 to $10 per share. America's top financial magazine voted Enron the most innovative company 6 years in a row. And a Nobel Prize-winning economist predicted the internet wouldn't become bigger than the fax machine. On Wall Street, deep-pocket advertisers are the real customers. That's why we decided to create a free financial magazine with no outside ads and zero Wall Street bias. Just the unvarnished truth on what's happening in the markets. All you have to do is visit acfreemag11.com. It's created by the same independent analysts who predicted the financial crisis of 2008, the bankruptcy of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and the recovery in the housing market. Read an exclusive interview with Julian Assange. Go to acfreemag11.com. That's one word, acfreemag11.com.
During this month of Thanksgiving, the Meadows would like to give a heartfelt thanks to all those who have made the conscious effort to do something important with their career choice and join the Meadows team. They'd also like to thank in advance all those who will decide this month that working at the Meadows means changing people's lives forever for the better. There's nothing greater than that. Look, you don't need to wait till January to fulfill a resolution. Today is a great day to make a move. Applications are being accepted for mental health technicians, licensed practical nurses, and registered nurses. And to make it even easier, the Meadows is expanding their hours for Open Interview Wednesdays. Open interviews will happen each Wednesday in November from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Meadows is located at 132 The Meadows Drive in Center Hall and offers competitive pay, excellent benefits, generous paid time off, no mandatory overtime, and this is an organization run by experienced nursing professionals. If you cannot attend an Open Interview Wednesday, call 814-364-2161, extension 345, or go to themeadows.net. Equal opportunity employer.
To the liberals in our audience, relax, precious. Just close your eyes and imagine you're being hugged by Rachel Maddow. News Radio 1390 WRSC.
And we go back to the phones. This is Terry in Louisville. Great to have you with us. How are you doing?
Rush, it's a great honor. When I have the opportunity to listen to your show during the week, I'm thrilled. But being able to talk to you live, oh my God, I'm just over the moon.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I wanted to ask you, you've talked a little bit about this today, but about the social media hearings and Facebook, Google, Twitter, while I'm enjoying all the left's distractions, there's so much focus on this from a Russian angle and from an advertising angle. But, where's CNN and MSNBC and...
I'll tell you, they're not reporting it because they don't want you to know what these executives and lawyers are testifying to.
Yeah, there was so much more disinformation on these social media outlets than just ads. I mean, people don't even, I looked at some of the numbers today they were putting out, and the number of people that clicked on these ads was so small, and some of these ads were just
That's what the Facebook guy said. The Facebook guy said that the ad content was 0.004% of 1% of all the content on Facebook, and that all of the Russian ads were placed after the election, and they were ads designed to sow discord with Trump. Everybody, we've been lied to. The ads did not appear in great number before the election, and they weren't trying to hurt Hillary. You're being lied to by the media, and now because these people testifying are telling the truth about what happened, the media is ignoring it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, they're just not talking about it, and there's, when I think back to all of the other, real sources that were putting so-called information out there, it just dwarfs anything that the Russians would have been doing anyway.
What is your main concern about social media? What is the point that you're trying to make about it? If you're talking about something beyond ads here, what is it?
Well, I think, I have a lot of friends who say they get all of their news from Facebook.
Yeah, I know that
scares me. I mean, if I see anything of interest on Facebook, and, especially a news article, right? A news article isn't normally, in the form of an advertisement, right? You get news fed to you based on...
Some of them are now.
Yeah.
A lot of news stories are presented as ads now as a means of buying placement, not just on Facebook.
Yeah.
But on the internet. So you're worried about the impact of all this lying crap that is passed off as news on on social media. That's your point?
Well, I'm more worried that they seem to be focused on the Russian angle specifically, and not all the other stuff.
Who is focused on the Russian angle?
The Senate.
Oh. Well, yeah, because that's the Democrats in the Senate are, because they're trying to fulfill the dream they've got that Hillary actually won the election. Okay, now that I know, I have to take a break here, but I will explain it.
Rush Limbaugh, because we know for you, only the best will do on the EIB Network.
News Radio, 1390 WRSC. Happy Valley's place for talk.
You have more smart devices in your home than ever before, and that also means that your personal information stored on these devices could be available for cyber criminals to steal. You need a secure router to help protect your connected devices and to keep your information safe. And that's why Norton, backed by Symantec, has introduced a new Wi-Fi router called Norton Core. Norton Core monitors for suspicious activity, isolates threats, and the unique design enables stellar speed and coverage. It's all controlled through an easy-to-use app on your phone that tells you the number of connected devices and how to make your network more secure. Go to GetNortonCore.com and use the code RUSH at checkout for free next-day shipping. Nothing can guarantee protection against every cyber threat, but Norton Core can help protect you against cyber criminals trying to access devices in your home. Get NortonCore.com, the promo code's RUSH, for free next-day shipping. Terms apply.
Hi, I'm Scott Good, owner of Goodco Mechanical. Are you tired of taking off work to meet the HVAC guy at your house to fix your furnace or air conditioning? Guess what? Starting October 16th, Goodco is the first HVAC contractor in our area to offer extended service hours at regular rates. Our preferred maintenance customers can now schedule their maintenance or service from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our regular rates. Learn what it takes to become a preferred customer by calling the Good Guys before 4 p.m. any weekday and to schedule your extended hour service appointment with absolutely no upcharge. If you're not already a Goodco customer, we hope these convenient extended service hours will convince you to give Goodco Mechanical a try. That's why they call us the Good Guys. Call us at 238-8180. That's 238-8180, or visit us online at goodcoinc.com. PA Home Improvement number 1221.
On Tuesday, we have a chance to keep a conservative judge on the Supreme Court. Justice Sally Mundy is the only conservative who is on the ballot. She's a strict constructionist in the mold of Anton Scalia and Samuel Alito, and has the support of conservative groups from across the state. She's the only candidate endorsed by the Pennsylvania Chamber, the National Rifle Association, and the Pennsylvania Pro-Life Federation. And Justice Mundy received the highest rating by the Pennsylvania Bar Association.
I'm Justice Sally Mundy. I was appointed to the Supreme Court because I've spent my life fighting for our middle-class values as a lawyer and a judge. I've stood with police, firefighters, and middle-class families, and I'm proud they are standing with me in this campaign. We need judges with integrity and strength and an unwavering commitment to the Constitution. I'm Sally Mundy, and I'm asking for your support. So on Tuesday, vote Mundy. Paid for by Friends for Sally Mundy.
The latest news and weather every hour, and as much fun as a raving lunatic liberal on YouTube.
You should be ashamed of yourself!
News Radio 1390 WRSC.
She's frustrated with the Senate focusing on Russia. I'm frustrated with the media not giving it up. But I'll tell you, Laura, they're not going to. It's all they've got. They're not going to give this up. If Trump's in office for 8 years, they're not going to give it up.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Tornado is tearing through town, or a hurricane strikes, or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think, and it's not always as simple as using your cell phone. That's why now is the time to take action. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Count.
News Radio 1390 WRSC. State College. It's 2 o'clock.
A complete and total disgrace. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That is President Trump's reaction to the sentence for Bo Bergdahl, the Army sergeant who pleaded guilty to desertion. A military judge says no prison time. Fox's Evan Brown, more live.
At least no prison time, but a rank reduction, pay forfeiture, and a dishonorable discharge, which Bergdahl's lawyers will appeal, saying justice wasn't done, and that such a discharge would mean loss of benefits for Bergdahl that he wouldn't need after separating from the military. Bergdahl's attorneys say President Trump's repeatedly calling Bergdahl a traitor impaired his ability to get a fair trial, and he only pleaded guilty because of that. Bergdahl got caught by the Taliban in 2009 after leaving his post in Afghanistan. Soldiers were killed while trying to locate him, Lisa.
Thanks, Evan. Meantime, the president tweeting his reaction aboard Air Force One as he heads to Asia, a 5-nation, 12-day trip focusing a lot on North Korea and including a stop in South Korea. 2 U.S. bombers flying near the Korean peninsula today. Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon.
The American B-1B bombers took off from Guam last night. It was a pre-planned training mission, but it's no accident it coincided with the president's trip to Asia. It certainly got Pyongyang's attention.
North Korea's state-run news agency calling U.S. leaders gangster-like imperialists who are trying to stifle the North with frantic nuclear threats. The statement also mistakenly refers to the bombers as nuclear-armed.
We can expect more shows of force measures while the president is in Asia, but this also shows how easy it is for North Korea to misread U.S. intent, especially if they think these warplanes are nuclear capable, and they aren't.
The president's first stop will be in Hawaii. He'll visit Pearl Harbor. Meantime, U.S. airstrikes against ISIS in Somalia for the first time. Africa Command telling AP several terrorists were killed early today. Fair and balanced.
Friends, are you taking Viagra for ED? Well, you could be paying too much. Now you can take Sildenafil, the active ingredient in Viagra, for just $2 per tablet. $2 for a 20-milligram tablet, saving $40 per dose. Marley Drug is a North Carolina pharmacy delivering Sildenafil to your doorstep. Go to marleygenerics.com. That's M-A-R-L-E-Y, marleygenerics.com. Or call 1-800-578-1640. That's 1-800-578-1640.
The IRS doesn't mess around. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. If you owe back taxes, call Optima Tax Relief. Optima has access to a special IRS program called the Fresh Start Initiative, and their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. Optima is A-rated with the Better Business Bureau. Don't delay. Call now for your free consultation.
Call 800-567-2261. 800-567-2261.
Optima Tax Relief.
This is a Radio PA News Update. Pennsylvania's new gambling expansion laws already triggering debate in communities across the state about whether they should try lowering one of 10 new mini casinos allowed under the law or ban them. The state's 10 largest casinos will be able to start bidding in January on licenses allowing up to 750 slot machines and 30 table games at satellite locations, which cannot be within 25 miles of a competing casino. Municipalities have until December 31st to vote to keep casinos out. Legislation renewing the Pennsylvania School Code is now before the House following passage in the Senate. It includes a controversial amendment allowing school districts to favor performance evaluations over seniority when determining teacher layoffs for economic reasons. Senate Minority Leader Jay Costa does not agree with that provision, but still urged passage.
I'm oftentimes reminded by my colleague, the Majority Leader, that given the positions that we hold, we don't have the benefit of selecting off of a menu which ones we like and which ones we don't like. So for that reason, I will be casting an affirmative vote.
The school code outlines spending priorities for public schools in Pennsylvania. Governor Tom Wolf will be among the scheduled speakers at a national health symposium next week. Tory Gates with the preview.
The governor will speak on the second day of the symposium, From Crisis to Cure, Revitalizing America's Healthcare System. It runs from next Wednesday through Friday in Danville, Montour County, where Geisinger Health System is based. A Geisinger spokesperson says Wolf will lead a discussion on the opioid crisis. The Wolf administration has provided funding to implement 45 treatment centers across Pennsylvania, including a $1 million grant to Geisinger's medication-assisted therapy clinics. I'm Tory Gates.
And Sears Holdings has announced another 63 Sears and Kmart stores will be closing, 7 of which are located in Pennsylvania. Kmart's in Coraopolis, Clarion, Moosic, and Shamokin Dam will close after Christmas, along with Sears locations in State College, Muncie, and Indiana. I'm David Payne, and you're up to date from Radio PA.
It will be mild this afternoon.